For joining us. We've got Derrick Clinton here today as our speaker on the topic of how to grow your YouTube channel. Derrick is an IT project manager by day, but also has built himself quite a successful YouTube channel. It's been going over 4 years. He has over 10,000 subscribers. It's a DIY channel where he teaches you how to do all sorts of stuff around your house and whatnot. And is the name of the channel Hindsight 101?
Yes.
Yeah. Hindsight 101, if you want to check it out. And he lives in Berea with his wife and 3 kids. So thank you for being with us today, Derrick. And this is being recorded. That's right. Everybody.
So thank you all for joining. I appreciate you taking the time out. I've learned a lot from this group, so this is kind of my way of giving back. So thank you. One thing I do have to say, I have 3 screens, so when you're talking and I look over this way, I'm actually looking at you, so I'm not looking off into the distance. I'm trying to keep track of everything, so I wanted to preface that. And then also, my son likes to sneak down into my office sometimes, so if you see me dart off for a second, I apologize. Sometimes he bypasses my wife and comes through, but hopefully that won't happen. But getting on to topic, I'm not going to do introductions right now. There's a lot of things I want to cover. But I want you to feel free to ask me any questions that you have. Interrupt me at any time. If you're not comfortable with interrupting me, put something in the chat. Erin will keep an eye on it for me and let me know if there are any questions. Also, I'm available outside. You can set up a meeting, call me, email me, whatever. I just like this group, but I want to help out as much as I can. So I know a little bit about YouTube, so I wanted to share that with you. But with that, let's get started. So the one thing I want to preface for some of you who haven't even started your channel or some of you who are beginning your channel, that YouTube is a job. There's a lot of work that goes into it. A lot of people get into it thinking, oh, it'll be easy. I'll just post a few videos and everyone will like it. It's not like that. A lot of people that you see that have like 1 million subscribers, some of them have been around since YouTube started. There are those people that get lucky and, in a month they have 1 million subscribers, but that's not the norm. So my experience like that was, it took me a year to get 100 subscribers, but then after that, it took me 3 months to get 1,000. And everyone's journey is different, so you have to find your own. But with this, everything that I'm going to cover will help you with that journey. There's going to be a lot, and you won't be able to implement it today or tomorrow. It could take you a month, could take you a year, whatever. But just know that it will take time, so there's no rush to implement all of the stuff that I talk about. And you don't have to implement it all. It's just different ways to help you grow. There's no magic sauce that if you do this, you're going to get views. You just follow, I guess, these kind of guidelines, and it will help you grow from there on out. So the main thing that I want to start with is you want to plan ahead and have a consistent schedule. So with that, there's a lot of talk about maybe you should post a video every day, every week, but you have to do what works for you. So for myself, when I first started, I post twice a month. And even that was a lot for me because every time I finished a video, it seemed like I was starting another video. But you also want to plan those videos out. So I planned a month ahead. That was pretty much all my brain could handle. But if you can handle 6 months or plan out for the whole year, that will help you out a lot just because you won't feel rushed and it'll keep your sanity. Plus also, if you know when you're going to post, YouTube likes to know that you're going to put videos out. So say you post a video this month, then you don't post anything for another 6 months. Well, then YouTube thinks like, oh, well, they're not posting again, so I won't recommend their videos anymore. So if you can kind of keep a consistent schedule and as often as you can, then that will make YouTube happy and say, oh, okay, I should recommend this video to people because you're going to keep sending videos. Because the main goal for YouTube is to get people watching because that's how they make money because they run videos off of your content. So with that, you want to experiment with your content. In the beginning, especially, or if you don't have a lot of subscribers, experiment because the honesty is no one's really watching. So you can do whatever you want, see what works, see what doesn't work, try this video, try that video. But the main thing is you want to bring added value because just because you like it doesn't mean other people are going to like it. So you have to find that balance of something you can talk about. I'd say, 20 years. Is this something I can talk about for 20 years? So if you I want to talk about making toast, well, you might only be able to make 2 or 3 videos off of that. So you have to find something that you're passionate about that you won't get bored with or bored with content, but you also have to figure out what you want, what people are interested in. Now, you could do basket weaving. That might not be very popular, And as long as you're okay with knowing that you're going to have a small group of people, that's fine. But if you do something like a tech channel, which is really popular, then you know you're going to get you can get a larger audience. But just level set yourself. So whatever you're getting into, know that just because you like it doesn't mean everyone likes it. Or as this relates to your business, you want to just stick to your core audience, and you might have a small core audience, but that's your audience. So to give you a kind of an example about that, about picking your content, there's this plumber. He's a really good YouTube use case where he was on the verge of bankruptcy. His business was going down, and he decided to get on social media. He tried to do YouTube, and he decided to talk about plumbing and all of his experience. And then the value that he added was, one, entertainment, because I like watching and hearing about all his crazy stories of all the things he went into in someone's house. But then also he had apprentices who wanted to become plumbers, and he was teaching them stuff like that. So he wasn't just selling his business and saying, oh, you know, I do this is my company, blah, blah, blah. He was offering value to the people, and people were interested in him. Now he lives in Texas. Now he goes all over Texas because people trust him, they know him, and they want him to come out. So people will pay exorbitant amounts for them to come see his house, see their house and their plumbing, because they trust him. Before, he was very local to just his city. So that's something you have to think about, especially for your business. You want to make sure the value added to the person, and not just promoting yourself, but having the audience get something out of it, so they'll be more engaged to watch, and that'll also make YouTube happy, because the more people watch, like I said, the more people come back to your content, the more they promote, and that subsequently people will trust you more if they feel they've gotten something from you. So ways that you can do in order to hone in on what you want to talk about, either for your channel or at least for topics of videos, there's a couple of things that I can do to help you with to narrow that down. Now, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So if you type in Google keywords, it'll bring this web page up. And it's for Google Ads, but people use it a lot for a different purpose. You want to go to discover new keywords, and you type in, for the example I'm going to use throughout this is garage door opener. Then enter, get results. So once this comes up, this categorizes everything that people search on YouTube, and this is a topic that I wanted to talk about, garage door opener. So at the top, it tells me that this is a very high topic that people search monthly, up to 1 million views, 1 million searches. So that helps me know that this is a popular thing that people are looking for, so I might want to talk about this. But then if you scroll down to my queue, it's a type of garage door opener under Chamberlain. That's kind of medium, and you only get 10,000 or up to 100K. So you can look at this one of two ways. So if you go with the garage door opener that's broader and has a lot more, you have a lot more people who are searching for that, but then you probably have a lot more competition. So you're fighting people to watch your channel, watch your videos. But then on the other side, if you go down to this my queue and talk about that, you have less viewers. But think about, even if you only get 10,000, and then say you get 1,000 of those views, that's more than you had before, and you have less competition. It's more of a niche, so you can really hone in on something instead of making it very broad. So you really want to hone in on whatever you're talking about. If you're talking about finance, you don't want to just talk about finance. Maybe it's finance for young people. So and then you kind of niche down so you can get a core audience, because when you're broad, you're competing with a lot of different things, and it can get kind of muddy. It's not bad. It's just, especially when you're starting out, it could be very hard for you to gain someone's view over another video that's been around a while, or someone who's more established than you are. So you want to make sure you can kind of niche down and grab something that really no one else has really sought after, and then you can dominate that space, and you could be known for, finance for young people, or whatever you're looking for. Now the next thing is, if you go to YouTube, you probably have never really noticed this too much, but we're going to use the same example. Garage door opener. And then you probably notice they give suggestions. You're like, oh, how nice. Well, there's actually another meaning behind this. These are the most searched terms on YouTube. So when I type in this phrase, garage door opener, the most searched term was installation. So that will help you figure out what you need to look for. And then say these are the top 20. The I wouldn't say the least, but the lower one would be won't close. So installation is very broad, but won't close, troubleshooting isn't. So then you can hone in on something like that, but you can see all through here, all the things, the most popular things people search for when you bring up that term. And then another thing you may not have known is YouTube is owned by Google. So if you do the same thing, open, oops, door opener. Kind of, there we go. It brings up the same thing, remote, installation, Lowe's. So all the top searches people bring up when they type that in there. And then you get double when you work with YouTube, because if you make YouTube happy, they'll also share that in Google since they're owned by Google. So you'll come up in both searches when that happens. So to give you an idea of that, and then that actually talks about what we're going to move into next is SEO. I'll type in garage door opener, Chamberlain. As you can see, oops. As you can see, it comes up, I'm the second video. So with that also, you're going to have to decide on what type of videos, what I call it kind of what type of style that you want to make as a video. So what I mean by that is you can make a workout video or you can make a current events video. The difference between the two, if you make a workout video, you're making content that people want to come back and keep watching. So if I find a workout video that I like, then I will keep watching that week after week because I like that workout. But if you make a current events video, once I find out what that event is, I don't really go back to it. So either are fine, but if you can target something that will keep people coming back, that will also look better for you for YouTube. Now, so now that you've kind of got what type of videos you want to make, what type of channel you want to be, you have to tell YouTube and Google what type of video you are and what type of channel you are and what type of videos you make. And through that, that's where we talk about SEO, search engine optimization, and metadata. So that's where search engine optimization comes from. Like I showed you here, where I have a video called how to install a garage door opener. And then through, a lot of people watching my channel, but some other things that I've done, I come up as the second in search because I'm optimized in Google to come up that way. So let's click on the video and talk about the main things that you can do to optimize your video and subsequently your channel. The two main things are your title. You want to make sure that your title is clear and concise and using certain keywords, kind of like what we talked about earlier when we were talking about the keywords that we search for. I have how to install Chamberlain garage door opener. A lot of those keywords, that's the main thing that Google uses to categorize your video and figure out what is this. The next thing is your description. And then in here, you want to put in things that describe your video. I know a lot of people might put in, oh, thanks for watching, have a nice day, blah, blah, blah. That tells YouTube nothing about the video, especially the first couple lines. That's what YouTube looks at. So here I have install Chamberlain garage door opener. Those are all keywords that YouTube is using to categorize this video and figure out what it is, so they know who to give it to. So when someone searches for garage door opener, they know exactly what videos to give those people, and this video, they know to give it to someone who's searching for that. Now the other thing I'll show you here is, if we go into garage, where all this plays into effect is, if you look up, so this is what people are looking for. And as you can see, then it brings up all the videos under that kind of description. But the other thing here is, I don't know if you can see it very well, all the keywords that I typed in are bold here. And then some, if you see like setup or other things, Chamberlain garage door opener. And then, like I said, that first line is what people will always see. So you want to make sure it's impactful when you're putting in your description, because that's the first thing besides your title is what people will see. So that's why those things are so important. And that's how Google and YouTube will say, this is a video this person should watch based on the description and the title. So leading into that, we're going to talk about now we want to talk about the kind of the look and feel of your channel and the branding. So what I mean by look, I don't mean that you have to buy all this new equipment and spend all this money, but work with what you have. So let me stop sharing my screen for a second. So work with what you have. So if you, a lot of people record with their cell phone, and I know it's easy to record with your cell phone vertically, but that's for Instagram. For YouTube, you want to go horizontal because that's how most people watch their videos. Or for another example, lighting, like I have here. I have it dark in the background, but I have a lot of light flashing on me because, especially with a cell phone, you need a lot of light. So if you ever use a GoPro, you never see a GoPro commercial indoors because it has horrible lighting. It's always outside, bright and sunny, because that's where a GoPro shines. So if you're indoors, you need a lot of light. So this is where I talk about you want to improve with the stuff that you have. If you have a cell phone, make sure it's eye level. It's not lower than you. There's some other stuff where you kind of want to look the part. So let's go to another video that I have. Share my screen again. And then this is a recent video that I did. Let's click on this. Horrible. A little bit better. Okay. So you see my background, and then my branding is blue. So a lot of my videos, I have something blue in the background. My background's blue or just whatever, but that's my branding. That's with me. But also, if I'm doing something like a garage door install, I'm in my garage. If you have a cooking channel, you want to be in the kitchen. You don't want to be in the bathroom. It's weird, but it also doesn't look the part. If you're doing finance, usually someone will be at a desk, have books or charts behind them, but you kind of want to look the part because those are the nonverbals people are looking at to trust you and know and say like, oh, this is a person I want to take advice from. You can see I put a little fluff in there. I have a little plant in the background, some fairy lights, just whatever, and then a little headphone case because I'm talking about headphones in this video. But it gives a more entertaining, pleasing than just you know, I'm in my office in my cluttered background or anything like that. You want to kind of look the part. But then also with your branding, you want to put your business in there. If you have something like a catchphrase, I have a catchphrase that's saying, this is Hindsight 101, where you'll learn about things that will help you in everyday life. And I say that in every video, and people know that about me. It's kind of a way to connect with people. I know a lot of other YouTubers I watch, they have these little quirky things they say, and it's a better way for me to connect to them. So you want to put your branding and try to think about that early on so it can be consistent throughout your videos. So some other things that you can do in order to maximize on your branding is one, you can look at your thumbnails. So in thumbnails, besides seeing the title, this is the first thing people are going to see in order to click on your videos. So you can't have YouTube automatically do it. And what they do is basically they'll take a screenshot of a part of your video. And sometimes it's not the most flattering picture. So you want to have control over that. But then, like I said, I have the blue. So that's kind of what people will associate with my channel. But you want some consistency. If maybe you're the brand, so you put your face in there, like I have in here. Like a lot of my thumbnails, I put myself in there. So you want to brand it as early on as you can once you know what you're going to do. And if that's your business, then put your business out there. Another way you can do, as people will see, is your homepage. Turn this off. So here, this is your channel banner. This is the second thing. So once someone sees your video, I'm like, hey, I like their video. Let me go to their homepage and find out what they're all about. Your banner will give you a lot of information. And this was the hardest thing for me ever to do until I actually took 5 minutes to figure it out. There's tons of tutorials, but I never watched them. And to get the sizing on this is impossible. But once you learn how to do, it makes so much sense. So when this is displayed, it's displayed differently on mobile than it is on a desktop. So you can see, just as a little note here, there's some space here between DIY and Hindsight and me and Love to Learn. Well, that all gets cut off when it's on mobile. So if you put something all the way across, then it may get cut off. And this is what I'm talking about branding. Well, people will see that and be like, oh, well, this is cut off. What is this? So just kind of the look and feel, the professional look to it. Also, I used to put my my posting schedule on here, but I kind of don't follow that anymore. But you can put how often you post. So, and then I post once a week. Look forward to those videos. So when they come here, they know what to look for. They may hit subscribe. And then finally, you can go down here to, this is kind of where you can put your channel trailer. A channel trailer is where you can talk about a 1 or 2 minute introduction to your channel. Since I'm a little more established, I don't really use the channel trailer. I consider it wasted space now, but in the beginning, so people can understand what you are, you can do that. Now I put my most recent video here to kind of promote my videos. So I just put out a video yesterday, and then I put that here. So when people either returning, because there's different videos for returning subscribers and new subscribers. So, and you want to, and I put the same video, but you can change it up. Maybe for new subscribers, you put, you put the channel trailer, but for returning, you put a different type of video, either your newest video or some other thing that you want to thank the people for watching. Whatever you want to do, this is a good opportunity to brand yourself and sell yourself.
Derrick, Catherine had a question about the channel trailers. Did that answer your question, Catherine?
Yes. Okay.
Yes, you did a great job. Thank you.
Okay. And please stop me by all means. I know I talk very fast and I got a lot of information to cover. So, but I have no problem stopping. So where was I? Okay. So now that you've got all that, you've got people interested in your videos, you want to get engagement because you need to keep people on the platform. With a lot of this, like I said, YouTube makes money by selling ads on your videos. So if they're not watching ads, YouTube isn't going to suggest your videos if people don't want to watch your videos. So some of the things that you can do in order to make that happen. Stop. Okay. Some of the things you can do to make that happen is a call to action. So in your videos, you can put in little things like with mine, since there are a lot of DIY, I say, tell me how this went for you. If you have a problem, hit me in the comments and let me know if you have any problems. Whatever you want. You can ask, what type of dog you have, just anything to get people to comment. Now, I'm one who doesn't like to comment, but then I have to get out of my own head and say, for all the people who don't like to comment, there's tens of thousands of people that will comment. And that engagement, because YouTube sees engagement as, oh, people are commenting on this video. Maybe it's interesting. Let me show it to other people. The other also, let me share again. Let's go to this video here. So people will comment, and then you want to start a conversation. If you can, keep it more than just saying thanks or you're welcome, but actually start a conversation, because again, that's interaction. YouTube likes interaction with that. Give them a heart. Also with thumbs up and thumbs down. YouTube doesn't care if you get thumbs down. They just see that as engagement. So any engagement is good. You might need it just because, depending on what the content is, if it's controversial, maybe you don't mind the thumbs down, but maybe, oh, I got a lot of thumbs down. Maybe I won't make that again. But any engagement that you get, that's what YouTube likes to see. Now this last one is people have different debates on it, whether you should make long content or short content. So my advice here is when you're first starting out or you're small, make short content. So 3 to 5 minutes. Why is that? Because YouTube tracks watch time. So if someone watches your 5-minute video all the way through, they're like, oh, this is interesting. Maybe other people want to watch it. But if people stop watching after a second, well, this is boring. Why they don't like it? We're not going to suggest it. So you want to get really good watch time when people come here. So when you're first starting out, watching 1 minute of a 3-minute video is better than watching 1 minute of a 10-minute video. So you want to get those short, quick, because that's what people's attention spans are on YouTube, are short and quick. And then as you get more established, you make longer content, and then people understand you're giving them value. They'll be more engaged to stay to that 10, 20-minute video because they know they're going to get value out of it. So where some other YouTubers you may watch put a lot of fluff and all this other stuff in it, just make it short and sweet and to the point, because that's what people want to see, especially when you're a new channel and you're trying to get promoted to other people. But once you get bigger, you can do all that because people will watch no matter what. Once you get big, they just love your content and you build a community around that. So now that you've gotten people to watch, you've gotten all this other stuff, you have quite a bit of you self-established. You want to start taking a look at your analytics because you want to know your audience. So Google Analytics, I mean, YouTube's analytics is very detailed and you can get lost in the weeds. So I won't give you too much. The one piece of advice that I will give you is if you're not a stats person, stay away from the web version and download YouTube Studio. It's basically the most important things you need to know and very clear, concise information that you want. But if you go on the website, they'll give you a lot of stuff. So just be prepared for that. And it could be a little overwhelming if you're if you've never actually really dived into it. But what I'm talking about is knowing your audience is so here, right here, this is the traffic source. This is how my channel gets views. So the main one is suggested videos. So YouTube is 31% of my videos are suggested by YouTube to other people. Next, 29% people are searching in the search bar for my videos. And then lastly, 28% is external. Basically, external is people did another search in Google. And that's 50% of my external searches. So this is where the bulk of my traffic is coming from. So what does that tell me? One, I don't have a community. I just have people who have a problem. They come to my channel, I solve their problem, and then they leave and they probably don't come back, which is fine. I know my audience, so I'm not trying to build a community around that. But I know what type of videos I'm going to make. I'm not really going to push all this other stuff that you can do on YouTube to build a community because I don't have one. If that's something you want to do, you may need to adjust your content based on that. But then if I go audience. So who watches my videos? 99% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed to my videos. Only 0.5% people who are subscribed to my channel come back and watch my videos. So what that says is I'm getting more, I call them transient people, or people who aren't subscribed, because most of my subscribers probably saw one video, liked it, but then because I do a lot of different content, maybe they saw an automotive video, but then I do a garage video and they don't really care. So I'm not really worried about my subscribers. As long as I have 1,000, and there's a reason for that, because you have to have 1,000 subscribers to monetize your channel, make money off of it. But as long as I have 1,000, I don't care whether I have 1,000 or 10 million. I just want to make sure that I'm making content that people want to watch. And then here's some other stuff, like mostly males. I have 81% male, mostly from the US. So this is how you gauge your content. And then my demographics is 25 to 44. That's the bulk of the people watching. I don't really interest, because of my channel, some other people. But there's other things you can dive into that I won't get into now. But I can see how people watch my channel. It's mobile and it's mostly Android. So a lot of times when I do videos that I have to show an app, I usually show the Google. Even when I had an iPhone, I always kept a Google phone, Android phone, because I would always show people the Android version of the app, not the Apple version, because most of my audience is on Android phones. So once you start diving into the analytics, those type of things will just make you that much better in knowing your audience and what kind of content to put out there. Any questions? Okay.
So
now
I have a question.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes if I'm just clicking around doing something to like get the link, I like get into the screen where my video starts playing, and then I'm like, oh, and then I stop it. Like, does that count as a view for 1 second or whatever? And how big of an issue does that?
So for you, your views don't count towards yours. They'll show up, but in the grand scheme, it's hard to explain without showing you. But your personal views when you're logged into your account don't count.
Okay.
So you can watch it as many times as you want. Google knows, because you could just keep playing it all day, and then they have
that's true.
They have algorithm systems that keep track of that.
Can't help you, but it can't hurt you. Okay.
Yeah.
So. And then I think I've heard that you're supposed to have like whatever's in your title should be repeated in your description in the first sentence. Does it have to be
as best as possible? Yes. Does
it have to be in the same exact order, or is it okay if like all the words are there, but there's maybe some other words in between?
No, Google actually prefers that. I guess in the beginning, people would just throw out words and just a collage of words, and it made no sense. And then that actually will count against you. whatever bot algorithm that looks at that. So you actually want to make it flow like you're having a conversation, a sentence. So yes, it doesn't have to be word from word your title, but use a lot of those keywords in your title. So that just reassures Google and YouTube that this is what this video is about.
Okay. Let's see, we got a couple questions in the chat. Catherine wants to know, are you editing your videos and then posting on TikTok?
So I actually forgot to mention kind of what in the beginning, but when I said you also want to post to one or two platforms, you want to post different content. I personally don't post to TikTok. It's just not my thing. And it would take me more effort than it's worth to play around with that. But but you don't want to post the same stuff. So you don't want to post, I have a YouTube video and I'm just going to put it on Twitter. I'm going to put it on Instagram, all the same stuff. Because one, you're hoping that people who follow you are following all your platforms, and if they see all the same content, they're going to stop following you on one of them. So what you kind of want to do is maybe put a teaser in Instagram or TikTok to get them to go to the main video in YouTube. So that's different content. Or like with Instagram, it's vertical video a lot. You don't want to really want to put a vertical video on YouTube. They do have a new thing because they're competing with Instagram. It's called YouTube Shorts, but that's a whole nother thing. So you want to make different content for these different platforms. But if you already have a following, say on Instagram, then you could push them towards your YouTube channel. But like I said, I really wouldn't do more than one or two if you're first starting off with social media in general, because it can be very overwhelming. As I say, you have to feed the beast. And if you're not good at it, or you don't do it often enough and you're doing it by yourself, it could be a lot of work. Does that answer your question?
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Oh, Catherine, sorry.
Steve says, very good presentation. He wants to know where you're located and your website and contact information, which I think you can answer, but we can send it out as well.
Oh, and I'm not done. So I just wanted to take a quick break. So I know I was talking fast. It's in the information. I have two websites. So I recently broke it up. I have my YouTube channel website, and then I also have a videography business where I do videos for people. But the one from my YouTube channel is hindsight101.com, and then the one for my videography business is hindsight101media.com.
Which I think I forgot to mention in the introduction. So yeah.
Oh,
it's a video business too.
Yes. But yes.
Podcasts, right?
I'm sorry.
And you help people with podcasts.
Yes, I have my own podcast. So I help people with like audio and different things like that. So it just kind of came natural. Once you do YouTube videos, video comes natural, then audio, and it was just kind of second nature to do a podcast. So then I've started helping people produce their own podcast, or do Zoom videos like this when they're doing Zoom for business. I help them get their setup going, recommendations, stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. Let me get back to we're almost done. The final part is, so you've done all this. Now you need to keep people coming to. You need to lead people to your videos, getting new people to come watch them after you've established, you have a good following, but you need to keep bringing people in. And the way you can do that is there's a lot of things that YouTube will provide for you in order to do this. So let me share my screen again. So, okay. So here up is called a card. You can have this pop up throughout your video, and then it could even have a little teaser saying, check out this interesting video, whatever it is, it'll slide across and it'll be here. And then someone clicks on it, it will take them to other videos related to this. So I made a playlist for automotive videos. So this is one way to get people to keep watching. Because like I said, YouTube wants people to stay on the platform and keep watching. If your videos do that, they'll promote you more, because people like Netflix, they're just binge watching your material. So you have to keep suggesting people to watch different things, so then they can click on and say, oh, well, this was this Ford video about how to program a key. Now I can watch how to fix my door or do this. And then you want to keep leading people into that. Another way is called an end card. So this shows up last 15, 20 seconds of your video. You can put in, and there's different options you can choose from, but you can, within the YouTube option menu. And so for this one, this is the best for viewer. So this is based on all my searches and stuff like that. YouTube said this is the best thing for me and what I'm interested in. This one here was a static one that I put in here because a lot of people were asking me questions about this video. So then I made a follow-up video to it. And so that's here. So that'll get people like, oh, well, if I don't respond quick enough in the comments, maybe they should go here and take a look at this. And then the other one takes you to my website. And then here, it's just a subscribe button to tell you to subscribe. Another thing you can do, if you scroll down, and a lot of people don't utilize this a lot, is comments. You can pin comments in here, and you don't have to pin someone else's comment, pin your own. So I tell them, here, check out this video about furthermore tips. And then they'll click on this to go to another video. And then you just go here, and I'll unpin it, but you can just pin it back. And no matter how, you can sort through these comments, and no matter how people sort, this will always come up on top. And that's just another way to lead people to another video. Plus it gives good engagement. Another thing about this is, excuse me, scroll up, the share button. So you'd rather have people click, or if you're sharing your content, click the share button and not just copy the top of the address bar, because YouTube tracks this. And then the more people share it, the more YouTube is like, oh, they're sharing this video with other people. It might be interesting. So this is a good one. You want people to share, or if you're sharing your own video, always click on that button when you share it, when you put it on social media, whatever, and then you can share straight to it or just copy the link. Also, if there's a certain part you want people to see, you can say start the video at 1 minute. And so they don't technically, so this is another just value add. So they don't have to look through the whole video. They can just say you're talking about 5 different things and someone only wants to know that one thing. Well, you go the timestamp and it'll start right at that one thing when they click on the video. So it'll start at 1 minute. So this is a good way to share it, and Google tracks that, and they're like, oh, yay, people want to share this video. It's good. So keep that in mind. These are different ways you can get your video out there to people. The last one that I use, and I use this quite a bit, is use forums. Let me stop sharing. So, and what I mean by that is there's a website, a deal website called slickdeals.net, where they post a lot of deals. So I have alerts on there for certain things that I've reviewed or made videos about. So I've done one on installing a garbage disposal and installing a garage door opener. So anytime that garage door opener or garbage disposal pops up, I'll go in there and say, hey, this video may help you out to install it and stuff like that. And then a couple of days later, I'll see my analytics. Oh, I got an uptick from slickdeals.net. Or I made a video about Samsung and an issue I have with my phone. Well, I go to their FAQ and see that people are having my same issue. I'll post my link in there to YouTube and say, hey, this might help you. And then these are people that want to see your content, because the biggest thing is you can post your links. You can post your videos on Facebook to all your friends, but they may not be the audience that wants to see your videos. So 1, they may never click on it. 2, if they click on it, they may only watch for a second, which, as you know now, will hurt you. So you want to put it to where people who want to see your content. And these are ways, so I think I was talking to Erin. There's places like when I moved to Louisiana, I wanted to find out about it. I think I used TripAdvisor or something, I can't remember, but there's where she can put her information at that website. So, because when people are looking to move, they need a realtor, and they can go to these sites because that's what people are looking for. So you need to find a place where people want to consume your content instead of you kind of forcing it on them. But to close this out and to give you a little bit of encouragement, check your competition. You want to see what they're doing. One, you want to see what they're doing well, but actually what you can improve on. So for instance, the car video that I did about programming your forward key, I had to watch 3 different videos to piece everything together, because before I made that video, and believe me, there were a lot more videos that are a lot more popular than the one. This is my most popular video, by the way. There was a lot more videos about this topic, and I just made a video because I had to watch one video how to program my key, one video how to program the key fob, the button that unlocks everything. They're 2 separate things, but everyone's video did it separately. So I was like, why don't I combine them? And apparently people like that. So you want to see what you can improve on. I call myself kind of the LG or Panasonic of DIY. I never make anything original. I just improve on other people's stuff. And so that's what you want to do. Pick out what they're doing, find out what they're doing right, and then build off of that, but make it your own. And then with that, I would also tell you that don't be discouraged because you'll Google your topic and see 500 different videos about the same thing. What I'll say to that is I watch a lot of home maintenance YouTube channels. And there was this one where the person told me how to maintain my water heater. And I was like, you really have to maintain that? I was shocked. And then so I looked into it more and I'm like, oh, look at all these 5,000 videos about it. So you might be the one introducing this person to that topic that they never knew about. So don't be discouraged because there's a lot of people out there. You might be the person that introduces them to that. So think about that. But with that said, that's it. Does anyone have any questions? I know I went very fast, but I wanted to make sure we had a little time for any more questions.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you. I've already sent a couple of videos to my husband, work on the dryer. Playing out of the dryer one. Good job. Thank you.
Oh, no, you're welcome. Was there anything in the chat? Anything else? Thank you again.
Derrick, that was great. I didn't even know where to start, and now I feel like I can at least dip my toes in and not be afraid. So
it's funny that there's a lot of YouTube channels and YouTube videos that teach you how to start on YouTube. That's how I started. The reason why I even got into it is I bought a house and couldn't really afford to have people come out and fix stuff, blah, blah, blah. So I went on YouTube and wanted to figure out how to do things. Well, then I noticed that plumbers and electricians aren't videographers and they do a horrible job at taping things. It's fuzzy, the audio's bad, or they yada yada over a lot of stuff. So I was like, I can do it better. So, and then I took about 6 months and then just watched everything I could, bought a camera and did it.
Oh, great presentation. I have a question.
Yes.
What software do you use to edit your videos?
So I use Adobe. That's the one that works best for me, and I've had it the longest. I've dabbled in the Final Cut. Don't really like it that much. Just of the way it's a good platform, but just the way it's structured is a lot different from Adobe Premiere. So I don't really like it, but I do use it just because I want to learn different platforms. I know Erin uses DaVinci Resolve, which is a great program and it's free, but it is insanely complicated if you've never used editing software. So it has a very steep learning curve. If you're just starting, there's iMovie, which is Mac, or I think it's called InShot, and there's some other ones for Windows. But or you can get, I don't think they call it Sony Vegas anymore, but that's one you have to pay for, and you only pay one time, because some of these you have to pay a subscription fee, a lot of them moving that route. But there's a lot of Camtasia, Movavi. There's a lot of ones that are one-time fee, inexpensive, and much easier to use if you're getting started, so you can learn the basics. Because if you jump to like Premiere, Adobe Premiere, DaVinci, you will become overwhelmed. So my advice is start off with some of the smaller ones. If you have Mac, do iMovie, and then build your way up once you want to do more fancy, crazy graphics, stuff like that. But even now, recently, I got an iPad Pro, and you can download this app called LumaFusion. And I edited the last video that I just put out. I edited all that on my iPad, and this app is $20, and it's a tablet app, so it's very intuitive. Instead of having to know where all this stuff is, you have a touch screen in front of you, so it's super easy, and it's actually very robust compared to some of the other editing apps that are in the App Store or Google Play Store. So especially having kids and stuff like that, can't always hide out in my office. I love having that iPad and just being able to like sit in my living room and I'm editing a full video, and they look just as good as any of my other videos that I put out. So I know I answered that really long. I hope that helped. Or did you have any further questions?
No, it's really good. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's overwhelming. There's so many tech tools for everything. It gets overwhelming. So it's always good to ask people.
So yeah, I would not get get caught, and I did that, and I would not get in the caught of trap. I need this, I need this. Whatever you have works for now. And then as you feel well, I want this, so I want to improve on this, then you start upgrading. So don't feel like I need to get this camera, I need to get this lighting before I set up. If you have a phone that's in the last 2 or 3 years, use that phone. But then, like I said, you need lighting. So make sure you're in a bright room, by a window, outside, whatever. But use what you have until you feel that you've outgrown it. But don't feel like you need all this stuff to start. Like I said, you don't need Adobe Premiere and pay for that monthly subscription. Get the free download of InShot. I can't remember. I can get it to you later, but it's a Windows-based or iMovie, because when you're starting out, you're not doing anything crazy. You're just cutting a few videos together and you're putting it out there. Maybe put your logo in there, and that's it. That's all you pretty much have time to learn, because it can be very hard. It took me, and I'm still learning. Every day I learn something new about audio or video. And then if you ever look at some of my first, don't do it. They were hideous. So I keep them around because people like them, but they are the ugliest things to me now compared to where I've gone. So just put it out there. It's going to be horrible. It's okay. You'll get better. But don't think like I need to be perfect to start this, or you'll never do it. And even those horrible videos that look insanely bad, I look so boring and dull, people still watch it and get value out of it and ask me questions. So put it out there. Just know that with each video, you'll get better.
Yeah,
that's cool. Great advice. Thanks.
So here, I'll real quick before you go, I'll actually show it to you. Okay. So you can so you've seen some of my videos. So which one is it? I think this one. Okay. So I'll show you this one. So this one, it was overblown. Don't like the background, too much lighting. I'm sometimes embarrassed looking at it, but this is one of like my first videos, and to say how far I've come to now. So this was the last one I did, and this is the one that I did on my iPad Pro.
Did you share?
Much different.
Yeah.
So different. So just know that once you start getting into it, and if you enjoy stuff like this, you'll discover different ways to get better. But you don't have to know everything out there. The most important thing is value add. Make sure the information you're putting out there is valuable. Work on that first. All the other stuff is secondary. Now I'm done. Anything else? Okay. So like I said, there's a lot to, am I even showing? Okay. There's a lot to unpack. I'm not sharing my screen, am I? Oops. Why didn't someone tell me?
So bad we couldn't even see it.
Oh. I'm so sorry. Here, let me real quick, sorry. I got 5 minutes. I'm bad at that. I apologize. So here, this is the video that I was talking about. Overblown, too much lighting. You see my equipment in the background. I'm very dull and lifeless. This was probably my first 5 videos. And then again, this is the one that I did on my iPad. And then this is the quality that I've moved up to. So you learn things as you go and you get better.
Yeah.
Do you
have to go to all your chats?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you go to all your chat? You know, you created a lot of movies. Do you go to all your chats and look under all your YouTube videos to answer questions?
So that's where the app comes into play. You get emails every time you get a comment, but in the app, it makes it very easy to comment and reply. Yeah, I have to limit myself because I could look at it all day. So usually I pick out times like in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, and then I'll reply to everyone's comments and help them out. But like I said, if you can say more than just thanks, you want to start a conversation. Oh, well, how did this go for you after you installed it? You want to get that conversation. But yes, I do reply to a lot of them because I'm still small. As you get bigger, or even now, you may not have time. You can do auto replies, but I don't really like that. But I try to reply to as many people as possible. Even if I don't reply to them for a week later, I try to get back. I try to carve out some time, depending on what's going on. But yeah, I do reply to all my comments, unless they're weird. I may not reply to some of those because you get a few weird comments. But for the majority, 99% of my comments have been very positive. Yeah.
Thanks.
Do you use Canva
Anything else?
for your thumbnails?
Oh, so Canva is what I use for my YouTube banner. So that, like, Canva was excellent for that, and that helped me out a lot. Like I said, there's tons of tutorials about it that teach you exactly what are the dimensions you need and how to plug stuff in. And I did all this in Canva, which is free for some things. And this is what I did for that. But for my thumbnails, I use a couple different apps on my iPad. Some I paid for like $7. Some are free. I do a combination of different things because all the stuff I want to do isn't in one app. But that's me. Don't feel like you have to have like 5 apps to make a thumbnail. I'm just weird like that. But you could do everything in one app for free. There's tons of them out there. You just find one that does what you want and works best for you.
Yeah,
that's all. And there is a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, I use PicMonkey, which is very similar to Canva. And I don't know if Canva has this or not, and I did have to pay. I think it was like $100 for the year or something. But it has the background removal. So they say the best practice is to have your picture on there, especially if you're trying to build your brand. But if you don't want, like if we took a picture of Derrick right now, if we wanted just him and his microphone and not all that stuff in the background, there's just a 1-click button and it just stripes the background, swipes it out, and then you just see him. And then you can do that solid color, like how he does the blue in the background, and you can add the words and stuff like that. So it makes it super easy to create those.
So I go here to remove background image. So they'll give you a lower quality, which is actually pretty good for free. But then if you need something high quality, because sometimes like I'll have to blow up my face and it'll get pixelated if I use the free version. So I'll just go in here and...
We can't see what you're doing. Are you sharing screen?
Oh, thank you. See, I'm really bad about that. Thank you.
We can imagine.
What was the name of that, Erin?
PicMonkey. It's PIC monkey.
Thank you.
So I'm cheap, so I always like to find the free version first and then go from there. So this is what I use, but I also like I said, when I need a high quality version, I pay them like 10 cents for it or whatever. But then you can also sign up for a membership. But then I'll go here and then let's see, where is it? It's downloads. I don't have one that I still just did. Here's one. This probably will work. And then, so this was a picture of me in front of my house. And then, take a second, it should work. And there you go. Took it out.
Yeah. Sweet.
So, but like I said, it gives you a low quality version. So if you're blowing it up, it will pixelate. But that's when I'll pay for the high def version. But if you're not, like this works out just fine. But there's also another one like Luna Pix. They do that for free as well. It's completely free and it does a lot of different, it's an online editor. So here it does quite a bit of different things. It's an online edit. You can do tons of effects, and this is all free. This is also has, where is it? Edit, transparent background, resize, crop, and it's all done online, so you don't have to have any software. You can do it anywhere. I use this sometimes because, especially with background removal, not all of them work the same. So you kind of have to play around with which one, if you're doing free, even some of the paid ones. But so I try to different ones depending on what I want to do, if I want to do multiple things in one app. So that's why I know there's a lot of different apps to do different things. But yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Derrick. Our next event in Outstanding Ohio is on Tuesday. We're doing networking at noon virtually if you want to join us for that. And I will get this recording out to you guys via email, and we'll also post it in the group, and it will be on YouTube. So on my YouTube channel, all the learn events are going to be are in a playlist on YouTube. If you've missed any of them and want to go check them out, you can check them out there.